welcome to the First Blast. And boy, have we got food for thought for you today. This show today is all about freedom of expression versus censorship. Do they go hand in hand? Should they be isolated? What are people's views? What does culture say? What does our country say? What does our government say? Let's find out. This preview should keep you hooked.
Censorship starts with me in my own words. I may be thinking so many different things about you, but I may not be.
Okay, forgiven. And boy, is today going to be an action-packed show. This should be interesting. We're talking about censorship and tolerance.
I should not be allowed to say or use which hurt you. You see, my freedom of expression is also a limiting factor that whatever I say should not hurt you.
Public censorship, what is that?
Public censorship could be of two forms. One is by the government.
Okay.
And one is something which the public wants you to do. From
my experience of the hijab, it can be very beautifully worn. It can be a very fantastic fashion statement.
Absolutely.
If you so choose it to be. So this is a very relative, yes. Again.
Even if a car crosses her, she would do a ghungat.
Yes.
You see, she would do that.
She will swing her fabric round.
Yeah, fabric round. And that's her modesty.
And the purpose of self-growth?
The liberation of woman does not mean that this modesty has to go. It's
the modesty hasn't. I mean, you're talking about nuns and stuff, but even if you look at the Western world today, people tend to consider MTV as the culture that exists in the West. You know, they brand MTV as that is the Western culture.
There's no nudity on Pakistan television. But how much of dressing, which is not part of our culture, do you allow in our own programs? But you do show Western programs.
There's so many other things which seem to me much greater pressing requirements in our culture which are being missed with this preoccupation, with this power trip with women. I don't get this.
What I learn and what I educate my children and everybody else to learn is to be able to communicate well without hurting anybody's feeling. Now, if I want to criticize you, Amina, on anything, I must first recognize, it's so simple, like a child, I must first recognize your credits.
I'm going to ask you a loaded question now. I'm going to say something now. Well, you know, the issue I have with that is we pretend to be so virtuous in the subcontinent.
But we like
then our entertainment is completely lascivious, you know. The people wearing the less modest form of dress today are no longer in a position to comment on those wearing a more modest form. Why is that happening? That, to me, is political correctness and self-censorship gone wrong.
Meena, you in your life and I in my life feel that the balance we have achieved is the best. That's true. That's true.
That sounds very arrogant on the part of both of us. This is where we become unforgiving as the First Blast, you see. This is where our audience goes, oh no, they've really lost it now.